Okay, good day, stock market traders and investors. This is Total Investor, YouTube's favorite investment channel. What we do here on this particular channel is we discuss opportunities in stocks primarily, but also commodities and crypto using technical analysis. And that means that we analyze chart patterns and we have to do a lot of research, which is what I do in the background here. And today I have found a good 15 different stocks that are looking very interesting. Let me put it that way. Keep in mind, what I show you should be strictly for educational purposes only, to teach you what I look at. So it should not be construed as financial advice. Okay, please, if you have not done so, subscribe to this channel. Very simple, just click on the subscribe button. That benefits you and me. Okay, also thumbs up and comments if you have anything to say. I'd love to hear what you've got to, if anything that's on your mind. Please watch this entire video from beginning to end. That way you get to see all of the chart patterns. We'll start off with the first chart. First one is ALTR Engineering, ALTR. And I drew a double bottom here going from mid-August to late September. Okay, bounced off that support level twice, and it looks like a double bottom. We've got, we look up here on the RSI, we notice that it has made a low here and a higher low here. So higher low, but the low on the stock is about even. So we've got a bullish divergence pattern. Okay, that is what we want to see if we're planning on getting into a stock. And this is looking very good. So we've got a potential double bottom. We'll know in a couple of days. The stock has bounced again. We're at the 10-day moving average. Still quite a ways to go to the 50, but that's looking very promising. We've got slightly uptick in the volume there. Last volume on Friday was 408,000, which is about twice the level over the 20-day period. And the RSI, again, a bounce off of that trend line, moving up. Still at 43, not quite at the 50 level, but this won't take long to be a buy. Okay, of course, it's got to prove itself over the next couple of days. But for now, put this one on your watch list, ALTR. Next, Amphastar Pharmaceuticals, AMPH. I drew a solid line straight across. I believe that was around $45. It was resistance. Once it broke, it became support, had a nice pop, very good move, and then it crashed and found support again on that same line. So it just gives you an idea as to how significant that line, that price level is. Okay, I did from the highs, I drew a downtrend line where it hit it several times. It finally broke a couple of trading days ago. I believe that was on Monday. It finally broke. So we've got a decision to be made here. What does it do? Does it bounce off the support again, or does it break through? Well, time will tell. The volume is roughly the same, maybe slightly lower, so that's not giving any hints. It's below, the stock is below the 10-day and the 50-day moving average. So far, no bullish signal there. And RSI is at 37. So nothing as of yet, but simply because this is a very strong price level, very significant, maybe it warrants a good, just watch it for now and see what happens over the next couple of trading days. AMPH. Next, Finger Motion, FNGR. I brought this to you before. I believe it was early September after it broke this trend line. It popped, came back down and found some support at around the $5 level. Friday, we got some good volume, 1.6 million over the 20-day average of 1.1 million. So that was good news. We had 4 straight green candle days. That was good. The stock is above the 10-day and the 50-day moving average. That's good. Broke 50 just the other day. That's good. So everything is looking promising for finger motion, FNGR. Next is harmonic, HLIT. I initially drew a downtrend line going from the top that it made back in late June. Touched it once. Now it hasn't quite broke through as of yet, but keep this in mind. I drew it there for a reason. Look at the bottoming pattern, okay? Low, low, lower, lower, lower. That's the stock. What's going on with the RSI? Its lows are actually higher, okay? So higher lows, lower lows, bullish divergence. That's what we want to see when it's a warning that the stock could be bottoming out, okay? Doesn't have to. No indicator is perfect, but there's a reason why I look for this pattern, okay? The stock is at the 10-day moving average, still quite a ways from the 50, and we're not that far from that downtrend line. Will it get there? Well, if we look up here, maybe this pattern up here on the RSI is giving us a little bit of a hint, okay? Because the triangle pattern is tightening up, and the RSI just broke above that level, above the trend line of the RSI. So, is that a few days ahead of what's going to happen with the stock? Maybe. Okay. Now it still has not gotten above 50 for a trigger, but if this thing does move and breaks, it could go and possibly fill up this particular gap that it left over here. Okay, that'll be a big percentage move if that happens. Okay, so for now, because it needs a lot of work, put this on a watch list. HLIT. Next, IGM Biosciences, IGMS. This is a nice long triangle that I drew from the bottom here back in April. Watch how closely it hugs this line. Finally, it broke on Wednesday. This downtrend line that it has here, it's above the 10-day, and it finally closed and traded above the 50-day moving average. So that's good. Stock volume, still mediocre, but it's above its 20-day average here at 323,000 shares. And the RSI broke above its triangular pattern here, and it broke above 50. We're now at 61. So this is looking good as is right now. Okay, IGMS. Next, Nordstrom, JWN is a stock symbol. When I drew this particular triangle because it looked like, well, basically down here we've got a low, lower lows, and the RSI did not make lower lows. It actually slightly higher. So that gave us a warning that we could be seeing a bottom. What happened? Well, we did make a bottom, although that was after several trading days. It was bottoming out, and now it looks like it has bottomed and moving higher. The stock is now above the 10-day, still quite a ways from the 50 days, but the RSI is giving us a little bit of a hint as to where the stock might want to go, and that is higher. We're just inches away from the 50, it crossing the 50, so we're not quite there yet on Nordstrom. It's in not the best industries out there, but this is something to watch. Put on the watch list and give it a couple of days, see what happens. JWN. Q2 Holdings, QTWO is a stock symbol. Triangle formation again. We got a low, low, low here. Still hanging on. Finally, I drew a downtrend line here going back to, well, roughly 1 month. It hit several times. It broke there on Friday. Not a great trading day on Friday. Right in the middle where it opened. Red candle. Nothing to write home about. It's above the 10, below the 50. All I can say here is that it did break the downtrend line, so that's a slight plus. Volume has been flat, 388,000 shares. And the RSI is just a hair below 50, but at least it's heading in the right direction. We're going to have to give this one a couple of days. It's just, a good possibility that we could be seeing like the old highs again, but we got to let it prove itself. Okay, Q2. Rivian Automotive. It's been caught in a sideways channel here, roughly $4 size, and that's been roughly for about almost 2 months here. Okay, so off support twice and hit the resistance. We're at resistance right now, above the 10 and 50-day moving average. That's good. The RSI is above 50. That's good, but also caught in a sideways pattern as well. Given the volume is good, 35 million as opposed to 24 million, 20-day average. So I think if we give it one more day, it might be the signal, and it's up from there. Riven, R-I-V-N. Next, Sanmina Corp, S-A-N-M. From the top in July, we've got a downtrend line, hit it once, twice, several times, and it finally broke on Thursday. We got a little bit of a hint as to what was going to happen, because as it found support at 52, the stock was moving sideways, but the RSI was actually climbing slightly, and it broke above 50. And guess what? That's what happened. That's what we got the stock moving up and broke. It's above the 10-day and just slightly below the 50-day. Not the best trade on Friday. Might have a little bit of a pullback and then try again. Unfortunately, volume did not want to cooperate. 277 as opposed to the 20-day average of 320,000. So this one may need a little bit more work. And then we get the confirmation. We'll just keep on looking at the volume on this one, not just the price. SANM. Next, Snap. Okay, we've got, I drew a line from the August lows to the September lows. That was lower lows. Look above here, we got the RSI, higher lows. Bullish divergence. The stock is above the 10-day, lower than the 50-day, so that needs that's going to be it will have to trade at 969 or higher before it gives a good signal there using that indicator. It's not far from the downtrend line, only a few pennies to break that, but we've got a little indication as to where this wants to go, because the RSI is right there at the moment. And it won't take much to break that to be a leading indicator, plus not that far away from the 50. So we're getting pretty close for Snap. And the volume was slightly higher at 21 million over the 20-day average on that. So Snap is very close to giving the signal. Next, SSYS, SSYS. It broke its from the top in July. I drew a trend line. Finally broke through at the beginning of the week. So that was a positive. The stock went flat after that, but the RSI was higher. That's a positive. Above the 10-day moving average, that's a positive. Green candles, 4 days in a row, that's good. A slight uptick, or a good strong uptick in the volume over the past couple of trading days. That's good. 2.4 million as opposed, well, roughly twice the 20-day average of the volume. That's good. And the RSI finally broke above 50. That's good. So this is looking very, very promising. SSYS, SSYS. Next, Symbotic, SYM. Strong support here at, I believe this is 30. Right where the low is. It finally broke the downtrend line from the highs that it made in late July. That was on Wednesday, and the stock is now above the 10-day, still below the 50-day. So we've got something very promising here. The RSI broke its downtrend line, still at 44, so a little bit more strength. A few more good positive days, and everything will be a go from there. Volume slightly higher, so somewhat promising. SYM. Next, ULTA Beauty. Here's a stock that I have hitting a bottom beginning of June, and the next major low was late September. So a lower low in the stock price. The RSI going straight up made a higher low. Okay, so there's the bullish divergence, showing that there's a strong possibility of a bottoming. Okay, and if we look at the RSI over here, it broke slightly its downtrend line. Okay, that's promising. The stock here broke its downtrend line. That's good. Unfortunately, Friday was a down day. Not really what you want to see. Volume was higher, so we're going to have to give this thing a few more days to prove itself, and then we'll look at it then. ULTA, but looking very promising. Next is Walgreens Boots Alliance, WBA. Looking at just a very short term, this is going back, what is this, less than maybe 3 weeks here. From the bottom to bottom, the stock made lower lows, but the RSI making higher lows. Now, usually when you look at the bullish divergences, you want to see longer time span. This 2 weeks, 3 weeks might be a little too tight for it to be reliable. The longer it is time-wise, the more reliable that indicator is. Okay, so please keep that in mind. It did break on Friday the downtrend line here that I drew. Nice big strong green candle there. Good volume, 25 million as opposed to the 20-day average of 15 million. It's above the 10-day moving average, so a lot going for it. The RSI is still at 41, not that far from its trigger line. So for now, this is still wait and see. I think we might get the answer on Monday, maybe Tuesday. But this is a stock that has really been beaten up intermediate term, short term, long term. Put up a chart and see what I mean. Okay, so if you're like a real bottom fisher, this might be the signal that says, okay, you can go, you can start nibbling at this thing for now. WBA. And finally, our last stock, XPEV. Once it broke this trend line, it basically went sideways for over a month. Drew another trend line from the tops coming down. It broke it on Friday on a gap. It's above the 10 and 50-day moving averages. Everything is good there. The RSI broke its downtrend line above 50. It's at 56. That's good. And the volume is pretty much flat at roughly 12 million shares. So this is somewhat promising. Again, I think that it could do better if the general market did better. But we're just going to have to wait and see. I think that, as is, this is looking good. Just, no need to wait any longer. XPEV. Again, that's it for this particular day. Please subscribe if you have not done so. Big thumbs up. Comment if you have anything to say. Also, if you can do me one small favor, if you are on social media, whether it's Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, spread the word, okay? Because it's brand new. I like to get some kind of a following here, so if you can do me that favor, please do so. I'd really appreciate that. So having said that, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.